Hello everybody, welcome to the total eclipse of your heart. No, we're not doing a live stream for the eclipse of the sun. I had that on holiday a couple of weeks ago. I was stood there sun lounging and this bloke walked past with a massive arse and blocked the sun out for about 2 minutes. So I know what an eclipse of the sun's already like. We're here for Manchester United against Leeds. 7:30 kick-off. Not the strongest Man United side you could go for, but maybe that's because we've got AC Milan at the weekend. I'm sort of thinking that might be the thinking behind it, but we'll get straight into that Manchester United starting lineup. There it is. Let's have a little pause. We'll go through the squad for you as well. I've just realised I haven't tweeted out that we're live, so if you could, that would be great. We're all part of the same community. Thoughts on team news. I'm live. That's how it works. That's literally how you do it. Have I got a thumbnail? Can I get a rewind? Yes, I can. There we go. And we're up and running. Got some big news as well. Trust me or not, I have big news coming your way that I can confirm. But let's have a look at this United lineup then. Now, you'll notice a few absentees. Marcus Rashford not starting, not on the bench. Kobbie Mainoo not starting, not on the bench. Harry Maguire not starting, not on the bench. And Mason Mount not starting, not on the bench. So starting lineup is Le Mans, Dalot, Yoro, Heaven, Amas. I quite like that back five, and maybe that could be a glimpse into the future. Santos and Fletcher. Tyler Fletcher, not Jack. Ahmad, Xerxes, Dorgu, Mbeumo. I'm fed up of Mbeumo up front, to be honest. In fact, you know what? When I look at that team, I almost see United going, we don't need a midfielder, we've got Tyler Fletcher. We don't need a striker, we've got Mbeumo. We don't need a left back, we've got Amas. Is it a little bit of that? Maybe I'm reading into things too much. But we're at Croke Park, 80,000 will be here for this. Leeds, I think, have gone quite strong. Their team looks quite strong to me. Although, I suppose, Calvert-Lewin's on the bench, Ampadu's on the bench. It'd be a good test. Anyway, on our bench, we've got Bruno. We've got JJ Gabriel. We haven't got Thwaites, which is strange because JJ's on the bench. Armour, Fernandez, Collier, Fletcher, Heath, Honor, Lacey, me, Cunha, Shaw, Thompson, Tillemans. So it's not, I have got to say, it's not my position to apologise here, but I have got to say, I do feel a little bit sorry for Dublin again. You do seem to get the rough end of the stick when we do pre-season, because can you remember the pre-season game we had? I don't know if it was last year or the year before. A Dublin date came out, everyone got really excited, and then United stuck another friendly in a few days before and then played the kids in Dublin. So they've probably not got everybody would want to see in Dublin, but it's not the first time you've been done a little bit dirty. I mean, ITV are probably a little bit pissed off as well because they called it Rashford's return and he's not there. But you can't get your money back now, ITV. We've already took it. Tickets over €100 as well. Yeah, look, I look at that United side and, it's a good opportunity to look at Santos again. Don't really want to look at Xerxes again, if I'm being honest. Am I going to learn a lot about Ahmad and Dorgu and Mbeumo? I mean, look, they're part of the team. Amas will be interesting at left back. Yoro and Heaven together I quite like. Dalot at right back, obviously, I don't. But I would like to have seen Mainoo. I would like to have seen Rashford. But to be fair, they are only back in training 2 days. So maybe that was all a bit premature anyway, that they would be involved, because they have only been back in training 2 days. I don't know why Maguire's not there. Obviously, we know that Rob Dawson discussed. What do you want me to discuss? I'll happily do it. We've got plenty of time. But I'd like, what I will say is this will be a good game. Leeds will give us a good game, and it will be a good test for those players that are part of it. Don't know where Mazraoui is either. No Mazraoui, another name. Fair play. No Mazraoui. No Maguire. But we are playing AC Milan on Saturday and it's Wednesday. So maybe Carrick is being a little bit cautious in the sense of he wants to keep, you know, big minutes. I mean, I don't know. If it was me, what game do I want to win? Do I want to beat Leeds, or do I want to beat the last manager of Man United? Maybe he's looking at the Amrim game with a little bit more, with a more desire. I don't know. But look, to be honest with you, this is why I didn't do a preview for this game. Beth did it, but I didn't do it because I just didn't trust. I think I'd have looked an idiot. Doing a preview of this game, because I would have said, oh, you know, strong team, Maguire, you know, Tielemans, Rashford will get half a game and not even on the bench. Tielemans not starting. So I think that I had this feeling that it might go the way it has. And look, Michael Carrick's got 2 games in 3 days to manage. So, I mean, you know, it is what it is. But it's like a home game for Man United, says Greg, the producer, is over there, which is great. But I think Leeds will give us a good go. I mean, look, I lived in Ireland for 3.5 years. Liverpool and Man United will kick the crap out of any other club when it comes to support in Ireland. I am just keeping a pop out the window because this eclipse is meant to happen any time, and I'm just, you know, I'm not that arsed, if I'm being honest, but it is getting a little bit darker out there. Let us know your thoughts on the team, though. Why was Rob Dawson twerking for Glinios and Barada? Congratulations on Beth on getting an interview with Sir Jim Radcliffe. JJ says, surprise Shaw. That was from Ivan. Surprise Shaw is not starting, says JJ. Mark, it's that time of year again. Me and Delit's birthday. Happy birthday, David. Hello to the United stand. Hope you're well. Had a good day, says Daniel Thompson. You too, Daniel. And isn't it funny how talks with Kone start up again after Kurt Mount gets a knock, says Chris. And I'm currently in Croke Park. It's a great atmosphere, says Chaos Theory. Well, there's a lot of people wanting to talk about some of Rob Dawson's comments, which we have got time, so we'll go back to them in a moment. If you liked the World Cup stadiums, Mark, you'll love Croke Park. Now the fans will look a bit far away from the pitch, but that's because soccer pitches are smaller than the pitch in Gaelic football / hurling, says Shane. I have been to Croke Park. I've actually been on the pitch at Croke Park. So, yeah, you know, I've done that before. Just before I start talking about some of the stuff that Rob Dawson has said, can I also just now confirm that Manchester United are playing against Leeds, but more importantly, I can now confirm, without further ado, that we will be making our big announcement tomorrow morning. No more delays, no more putting it back. I have had verification that tomorrow morning we will be making the big United stand news. Very excited. Obviously, you know that some of it's going to be member driven, but you'll have to wait and see what that is, because you will all benefit from it anyway. So yeah, very, very excited to be announcing it. And obviously 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, we will be reacting to the news, but we will also be reacting to that, because I'm hoping it's going to be about 8 or 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, UK time. So it was meant to be announced on Tuesday. I have to take the blame. It didn't. I'll tell you why tomorrow morning. I was about 90% sure, and I've just had another message. So I pretty much know what time it's happening now. And I know what time everything's going to happen. So very excited. All confirmed. And I'm literally just getting messages about it now. I'm hearing. Keep an eye out at about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock tomorrow. That's what I'm hearing. In the morning, UK time. Yeah. And the great thing is, it's not just an announcement. You will be getting something as well as a present. So welcome to the members club, to LPC, and Francis. Robert McCormack says 90% club again. It's Marco. Welcome to the members club. Robert, it's not 90% club now. It was 90% club this morning. It's 100% club now. Yeah, 100% club now. Very, very good. Very, very excited. Matt Ridley says, sorry, Matt, welcome to the members club. Thank you so much for that. Right, let me get into let me get into the Rob Dawson comments. So what's your problem with Rob Dawson, basically? I watched a bit of it, and he did come out with some comments. So here was one. On why Man United haven't necessarily made a marquee signing. I think it's a difficult situation for Manchester United. Elliot Anderson, for example, there's no surprise he had a lot of suitors, but it's a bit like what happened with Semenyo. United were well in for Semenyo. They knew he had a release clause. Omar Barada likes deals with release clauses, as there's just a set price and no United tax. And then the wages changed. Fee completely manageable, but if you can't match what City are offering wage-wise, then it's a problem. Because either we're going to pay this money and that affects the entire dressing room and wage structure, or you just say we're out. And that simply happened with Anderson, Tonali, and to a certain extent, Mateus Fernandes. I mean, look, that's a great bit of, that's a great story, you know. Maybe Scorsese will make a film out of it because it's a brilliant story. But unfortunately, I would challenge that and say, so we were willing to pay the transfer fee for Mateus Fernandes, Tonali, Anderson and Semenyo, but it's difficult because the wages were the problem and we couldn't pay the wages because it might upset the dressing room. We've just brought Marcus Rashford back into the team, who was removed from the team 18 months ago, and we're paying him 350 grand a week. You simply cannot say it would upset the dressing room to buy a player and give them a good wage when you're literally bringing Marcus Rashford back on 350 grand a week. It doesn't make any sense, does it? So, wow, it's really dark out there. I mean, it's not completely dark, but yeah, you can tell something's going on. And apparently it's a solar eclipse. And I think now is meant to be the moment, isn't it? I think it's a bit overrated. Yeah, I think it's a bit overrated, to be honest. Leon and Adam Jordan, welcome to Members Club. Melvin as well. Olama 5. Dara Keegan, thank you. Liam Singleton. Billy Bob says, sorry, Liam Singleton's a new member as well. Don't be like our Sol president and look directly at the eclipse. Do not look at the eclipse, you might go blind. Don't do that. Great question. Great point by TFP. Billy Bob says, Rob acted in such a disrespectful way. Eye rolls and gotcha questions. Beth did a great job. Look, Ollie tactics, protecting the favourites, Maguire, etc. Says Tabiso. Look, I have to be very careful because I respect the fact that these journalists come on to the United Stand and give up their time. But you'll notice that I don't interview them because probably some of them don't want to be, you know, interviewed by me, which is great that we've got people like Beth who can interview them. But you know, I'm not going to say what I've said and then, you know, not say it. I think that if you say something bad about the Glazers and you're a journalist, you won't get asked. You won't get a question in a press conference. You might not even be allowed in a press conference. So, look, I don't know. I don't have a problem with what people said. I think ultimately, you know, a lot of what I heard in that interview was rather disappointing. So, you know, I don't dispute that. And I think that, you know, when people are saying it's a difficult position for Manchester United to be in, I actually tweeted this today. You know, when I see people like Andy Mitten or Rob Dawson or Laurie Whitwell or any other credible journalist saying Man United are financially restricted, it's difficult. My big problem is when I hear anybody, fan, journalist, ex-player say, you know, United have got to operate within their means, it's, you know, it's difficult. I challenge that by saying, why are we financially restricted? Has the Premier League given us a transfer ban? No, they haven't. Is the club really crap at making money? No, it's not. Are we in a position where we don't need to spend money? No. The reality is we're financially restricted because the owners of the football club use our money to pay their debt. And, you know, it's a little bit like waking up on Christmas Day morning and knowing that your parents have got enough money to buy you presents, but you don't get any presents. And you say, why didn't we get any presents? And you say, because, you know, Gran's got a bingo habit and, you know, she's took all the money. Well, I'm blaming Gran, you know. I'm blaming, you know, I shouldn't not get Christmas presents because Gran wants to go to bingo. We're not financially restricted. Gran just loves the fucking bingo. You know, it's not, I don't agree with Man United being financially restricted. I don't think it is difficult for Man United. I think it's, the problems we have are because of the owners that we have. I think it's difficult. I think you're financially restricted if you're Aston Villa and you're Newcastle because they can't spend money. They are restricted by FFP and PSR. We're not restricted. We're not restricted. So I don't like it when I hear journalists. Well, to me, they're towing the Glazer line. Anybody who sits there and says it's difficult for Man United, they're financially restricted, of which all of them do, to be fair, they're just towing the Glazer line without actually doing proper journalism. You can say we're financially restricted, but please also say the reason they're financially restricted is because they've got bad owners who've lumped them with debt, and now United has to use its own money to help the debt, to pay the debt. We never get the full story, do we? How dark is it now? I don't know what I meant to see really. It's just, to me, it just feels like it's getting a bit dark. Nick, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Michael Cox, welcome to the Members Club. Four Leaf Clover, very apt. Thank you very much for that. Charlie Barrett says, I find it strange you haven't had Gary on the show. Be a great chat between you two or other ex-players he could intro to you and chat with. Charlie. You will not draw me in to what we're announcing tomorrow. No comment. Will Parnham, thanks very much and welcome to the Members Club. Mark, is the announcement more based for UK-based members? No, it's for everybody because that's what we do here. When is the news dropping tomorrow, says Emil? Tomorrow morning, UK time, around 9. Upset who in the dressing room? No one on that squad deserves it, says Charlie. Mike Bowyer, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much for that. Average Bro as well. And Ethan says, don't think we got an answer from you last time. If you had to, which chocolate bar would you put up your behind? I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it. I tell you what, don't look at the sun in an eclipse. Don't look at John O'Shea on ITV. Bloody hell, that shirt's bright. Blinded by John O'Shea's shirt here. That is bright. That is bright. Yeah, so that's the United side on the screen. Let's get the little stats carousel rolling round as well. Was there anything else that upset people from Rob Dawson? Let me have a quick look. On Ineos squad building style, they're trying to get the squad in a shape to be able to make those Bruno G style signings in a year or two. I think now it's about building a stable, sound squad of good young players who are going to be at the club for the next 7 to 8 years. And then you start making a tweak. Maybe then you go and sign a 28-year-old from somewhere to give you that tiny bit of edge with your starting 11. I mean, I've got to say, I found that one a little bit confusing. So Man United will start making the big signings in a year or two. Right now, they're about building the foundation. But Omar Barada said we're going to win the league this season or next season. So what is it? And this is what I mean. I think the lies start to trip themselves up. And I'm not saying Rob Dawson's lying. I'm saying whoever's given him that information from the club can't remember what Barada said. Are we building a team for the future? Or are we building a team to win the league this year or next year, like Omar Barada said? Also, saying that we can't buy big players now, but we will be able to in a year or two, we're going to be building a stadium in a year or two. So I think there's less chance of that. Also, is that not just Ineos tactics? Tell everyone you're going to do something in the future and then don't do it. When we've just had 9 months of chasing Elliot Anderson and then not bidding for him. Is this just the whole, don't worry about this window being shit, next year we're going to sign Vinicius Jr. and then next year comes along and it's the year after that? I personally do not trust anything about in the future we're going to do this. I think in the future we're going to spend less money. I don't think we're going to spend more. I don't think they're ever going to write cheques for £90 million. I don't think they're ever going to give wages of over 250 grand a week. I think that's the strategy. So I don't actually believe that this is temporary. I think this is probably permanent. Rob Dawson was asked about Rashford's wages being on the books. He said that I think this was the one that caught my eye. So Beth asked about Rashford's wages and how the club will feel about it. And Rob Dawson said, I think they've made big strides in bringing the wage bill down, so I don't think it will be a big issue. Okay, so Ineos, who sacked half the workforce to save under 10 million a year. Listen to this, because it's fact, right? Ineos sacked half of the Man United workforce, over 500 people apparently, to save under 10 million a year. And then they bring Rashford back, who's on 15 million a year. We get rid of Casemiro on 300 grand a week to bring Rashford back on 300 grand a week. You can't just say they've made great strides in reducing money so they won't care about someone coming back on 15 million a year. They will be spewing about 15 million pounds a year for a player because they weren't expecting to pay it. They can say what they like publicly. I know, and you know, Ineos will be fucking fuming about having to pay 15 million pounds a year to a player that they didn't think was coming back. So they are hypocrites and they will pretend that they're not bothered. But look, morally, how the hell do you justify putting 500 people out of work to save 10, 20 million pounds a year and then bring one player back on 15 million? It's complete and utter hypocrisy. We're going to sack a load of good people because we need to save money. We're going to bring Marcus Rashford back and give him the same money. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. The only eclipse I've seen in this transfer window is eclipsing our window under Moyes. This transfer window, says Lee. Good, I like it. Shalin says, I've got tickets for the Bournemouth game. I got tickets from W210. Have you been to that stand? Do you know if it's good? Excited because it's in the Stretford end, says Shalin. I have been in the Stretford end. I haven't been in recently, obviously, because I do a lot of watch-alongs. And if it's your first time going to a Man United game, I don't think it matters which stand you go in, mate. Enjoy it. Danny Miles says, Danny Miles, welcome to the Members Club. And Aban says, do you reckon we can get an eclipse mid-game? Also from the start of the summer, I always wanted Kone. I just love the player profile. 6'1", box to box and strong. Alex says, I think you would like a Pulisic bar. Okay. Score predictions, Mark. Giving this duty-free Toblerone a good go, says Juicy. You lot are obsessed with this sort of stuff. It's strange to know. It's strange to me. Please do share the video, by the way. We've got currently nearly 10,000 tuning in already. And as I've already announced, Man United might not announce a transfer in the next few days. But we're about to make one of the biggest announcements in football fan content history tomorrow. I'm not lying. I'm not hyping this up. You know, I think some people think we're going to announce that we're doing a show in Dublin. But done that. I think some people think we're going to announce, you know, a new jumper or something like that. We've done that. I think that we are here to announce a game-changing thing tomorrow. And we're very excited about it. Very, very excited about it. So tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Obviously, I'm live with you at 10. We'll be reacting to that. And hopefully we'll get some Man United stuff as well. I thought it was meant to go dark when we had the eclipse. I thought it went dark. I know you're not meant to look at the sun, but I thought it actually did go dark. EPL rights. Mate, I tell you what, that's not a bad one. Margot says, I love the show and I'm currently gobbling a Mars bar, vein side down. Love the show. Anyway, Stephen, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Sporting Journey, welcome to the Members Club as well. What's Up Sham says, I'm having a curry and spicy burger and a cold Coca-Cola. That sounds lovely. That sounds absolutely lovely. Sounds like something's going on out there. Better not be the end of the world. I've got to investigate this. This sounds... I've never heard this noise before. Literally just realised above me is the bathroom and someone's having a shower. I could hear rumbling and stuff. I thought the world was ending. Someone was having a shower above me. Not that sort of shower. Don't get old Margot excited with a veiny Mars bar. Fancy signing Dawson. He's good at defending United. Look. This is what I mean. Some people say we're negative. Some people don't. Blah, blah, blah. We, on this channel, do not follow a path of negativity or positivity. There are certain channels out there who just spew positivity. Fair play. Fair play. It's probably why you haven't got 2 million subscribers. No, I'm taking the piss. What we do on this channel is we give everybody a voice. So if Rob Dawson wants to come on and justify why Man United have had an 8 out of 10 summer, we'll let him do it. That, you know, that's the way we work. And I think that's the right way to be. Let everybody have a voice. Players are coming out onto the pitch. Moron CEO already said they're fine with Europa League. Once you remember that, everything else makes sense in terms of lack of transfer businesses, Isaac. I genuinely don't think Omar Barada's got a bloody clue. He says things like, we're okay with the Europa League, and then he says we're going to win the league next year. So, and remember, he did say that. Greg Roots, welcome to the Members Club. Phil United as well. A picnic bar would be great. We've been here before, Chris. We've been here before. Creeping East, thanks for joining the Members Club. And Stephen Mason, thank you so much. We are getting close to kickoff here. Game is on MUTV apparently, but I'm watching it on ITV because it's just better quality. So that's basically why I'm watching it on ITV. The game on... I've forgotten what time it kicks off on Saturday. Somebody want to tell me what time we're kicking off against AC Milan? I can't remember. UK time. I'll let the chat do it and then I don't have to Google it myself. What time are we kicking off on Saturday? What's your opinions on the Jose documentary? I'm really enjoying it. I've only watched the first 2 episodes, so yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm you know, it's not even the United angle. I'm a big fan of Jose Mourinho. 3:45. 3:45. I suppose that's not a bad time to kick off, actually, is it? Do you think the Irish have been done over again? Are we talking like recent history or? I think that you have been done over a little bit because that's an 80,000 capacity stadium. You're not seeing Mainu, you're not seeing Rashford, you're not seeing Mazraoui, you're not seeing Maguire, they're not on the bench. So I think you have been done over a little bit when you look at the teams we've picked in other games. But it's pre-season and that's what can happen, isn't it? You know? Hi Mark, opinion on golden showers, says Q. Yeah, I'm not answering that. Real MN, welcome to the Members Club. I can see us getting Kone and a left back. That'd be 6 out of 10, says Wheat. What's up, Sham? I think if Amas has a good game, I can't say it about Mason Mount and not say it about Amas just because I like Amas. I think if Amas has a good game, you won't be able to move for we don't need a left back. We do need a left back. I don't care if Amas plays like Roberto Carlos. We do need a left back because Luke Shaw's no good. So Amas and a new left back. I don't want Luke Shaw in the Man United team this season. I think he's done. I think he's past it. Start bench. Put up your arse. Pep. Yeah, not doing that, Reese. I'm not doing anything. Ryan's talking about chocolate bar. You know what? Whoever started that off again, you really do expose the excitement in the chat when people start talking about chocolate bars and orifices. I'm not getting involved in any of it. I'm finished. My issue with the club, says D-Bank, this is the sort of comments we want. My issue with the club is they can't afford such market, then why not approach players like Garner before contract renewal instead of focusing on people like Elliott, Anderson? Exactly. Fair point. Well made. Right, let me get ready for the timer here. That would have been a good idea to actually be ready. I can't find it. Now I can. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing Amas. I'm looking forward to seeing Yoro in heaven at centre-back because that could be our future. I'm looking forward to seeing Santos. Even got me thinking about Ass now. And you've got Tyler Fletcher as well starting. I mean, look, I've seen it. a lot of people were like, why is Tyler Fletcher starting games again? How many minutes are we going to give him over people like Thwaites? That's Carrick. You know, that's Carrick. And that's a young player. So I hope he does well. Greatest stadium on earth, says Shane. There's a lot of space behind the goal. Yeah, that's because it's not a football ground. It's a Gaelic football ground. So there'll be a lot of extra grass. Does that mean Amas is staying? Hold on a minute. Hello? Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm actually live. I'm doing something wrong live during the stream right now. So you have to send me and I'll see if you Oh, daughter was ringing me and I thought it might be something bad. What she was actually saying is, I'm at someone's house, I want to use the Netflix. Is it alright if I send you a code? Okay, up and running. Anyway, let's go. Isaac, thanks. Welcome to the Members Club. Do you think we will start the Premier League season well, then slow in November, so the club makes a marquee signing in January to shut up the fans, says Julian. I think we will start the season well. I mean, Ipswich, Hull, very winnable games. I do think we'll start the season well. And I do think our biggest problem will be later in the window. Later in the season. But what I'm interested in this game as well is how we approach it. It's the first Premier League side we've played in pre-season. And I always think it's good to play a Premier League side because obviously it's the same league, but also they're working to the same schedule as us as well. So I think it'll be a very interesting game, this one. But yeah, the short answer is I think look at what Man United did well last season. We did really well in the second half of the season, playing one game a week. I've done that one from Debank as well. Take care. Does chocolate Easter Bunny count as a chocolate bar, says Guy. And tomorrow morning, Mark, sorry everyone, I promise I'll make my announcements in November. Let's see what happens, Mazraoui. Big announcement tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Very excited. I was hoping it was going to be like 6 a.m. because I was going to get up and just be ready on Twitter for all the haters. But at least I get a bit of a lie in now. Yeah, I mean, there is something tactically about this game I don't like as well. I don't like Xerxes playing behind Mbermo. But there's not a lot we can do there because I suppose the alternative would be to play Mbermo behind Xerxes. But Xerxes is not a striker, so in some ways it's better. It just shows you where Carrick sees Xerxes, really. Nowhere. Santos' poverty. I thought he'd had an amazing pre-season. Do you think they're playing a 4-4-2? No. No. I think we might press as a 4-4-2, but there's no way we're going to play a 4-4-2 in 2026. You can see it's not a 4-4-2 there. Jamie Lawson, thanks. Welcome to the Members Club. Good interception by Ahmad. Fletcher. He does remind me of McTominay. Just needs the little bunny hop. He likes a backwards pass, doesn't he, Fletcher? I'm really going to analyse Fletcher in this game. I'm actually quite excited to see him because He reminds me a lot of McTominay. I know he's wearing the number 39. Nice ball into Mbermo here by Delo. Good tackle by Fletcher. Back into Mbermo. Goes all the way back. Could be a corner. And it is. Be interesting to see if we can threaten from corners, because we don't have Casemiro anymore and we don't have Harry Maguire. And we don't have Bruno on corners. So... I just don't want Bruno. I just don't want to see Mbermo up front. But it seems to be something that Carrick loves to do. And he does score goals, so is that not what the job of a striker is? But I'll be honest, I genuinely did think that we spent £65 million on a right winger. That's sort of what I thought. Delo with a shot. Ooh, straight at the keeper. Wasn't a bad one. Still thinks he can shoot in 2026. He still thinks he can shoot in 2026. Somebody needs to tell him to stop doing that. He's wearing the captain's armband, Delo. Breaking news. Didn't even realise that. He is wearing the captain's armband. Xerxes used to do my head in at Bayern. He's not a 9 or a 10, says Dennis. And Sean says, first super chat, watching from the days of the 7 a.m. transfer shows along the canal. What a journey. Great to see United in the historic Croke Park. I used to love those shows, mate. Walking to work on my phone, doing a live stream along the canal. First to do that. You know, a lot of people do that now, don't they? I suppose that was the first. Could we class that we were first to do IRL? I think we could, well, we probably weren't the first, but they were very popular. Walking to work for half an hour, doing a live stream up a canal. IRL bridge. Jamie Lawson, welcome to the Members Club. Juicy says, he's just gone out for a 5, guys. Okay. Well, at least the intensity of this game is high, which is good to see. Are you excited about the news yourself? Mate, I've known about this for probably pretty much since we did the deal. It's been worked on. And yeah, I've known about it for a few weeks. So, you know, it's been a long wait, long wait. Ahmad, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Please do share the video if you're watching. Make sure you're subscribing. Exciting stuff coming up on the United stands. Probably the most exciting thing we've ever done, actually. In fact, not probably, definitely. Dorgu, I think the referee was looking to let that go. But he's given a foul there. Would you sign anyone on loan with an option to buy, says Philip. To be honest, I think that's a bad tackle by Dorgu. I think he scissor tackled him. That's a bad tackle by... for a pre-season friendly, that's a silly tackle by Dorgu. I mean, if that had been on one of our players, I'd be fuming. He's scissor tackled him. He's caught his ankle in between his legs. Hopefully he's okay. Fark's right. It's not a good tackle, that. Thankfully, the player's up. I don't think Dorgu was malicious in it, but, you know, need to calm down a little bit in a pre-season game. Because the problem is, you might get one back. Did you know Delo is now vice-captain? Fucking hell. I don't want to go back down that road, Jason, but, you know, I don't rate Delo. I think he's a lovely guy. I think he really cares about the club. But I don't particularly rate him. Shock horror. Warren says, Rob Dawson is a Glazerite. He was tripping over his tongue protecting the ownership when he was talking to Beth this morning. Philip said, would you sign anyone on loan with an option to buy? Camavinga, but they would never do that. They'd want the money. Long ball over the top. Xerxes picks up the second ball. Trouble with Xerxes as well, his second touch is a tackle a lot of the time. Good feet by Ahmad. Good play by Ahmad. Into Amas. Went for the cross. Comes back to Santos. Nice ball into Fletcher. Good ball out wide to Ahmad. Looks a bit lively today. Wins a corner. Jacob, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much. Are you going to get FC27? I actually have got a beta code for it, Lucas. I need to write that down. I need to load it up. And decide whether I want to do a career mode. Keaton says, are you still ignoring the chocolate bar question? Oh, yes. Nice ball by Yoro into Amas. I think with Amas, it's interesting actually. Are they thinking that they want to use him at left back? Are they putting him in the shop window? I think that's what they're doing. And that, to me, is criminal. But I think they're putting him into the shop window. Mark, you're currently the only United streamer calling out the policy. The others are all pacifying it, which makes no sense to me. He says, I really don't mind being the minority if I believe in it. Good shot by Xerxes from a good cross by Delo. Keeper did well. Trafford in goal. Good chance there. To be fair to Delo, early cross. And Xerxes probably did about as much as he could do. Good chance by United. Yeah, happy with that. Yeah. Just going back to that by Mav. I've got I don't know. Mate. Honestly, I do not get why. And I don't watch other content creators, so maybe you're lying. But I don't know why everybody's so positive. I think this is actually. I don't think this. I know this is factually the worst transfer window we've had since we sacked Mourinho 10 years ago. It's a crap window so far. Mark, you handsome devil, how are you? Says Hamid. I'm very excited about our big announcement tomorrow, and I'm very much enjoying watching Manchester United play a pre-season game with a bit of something on it. I think the great thing about this first 15 minutes is you can see the intensity of the game, big crowd, and Leeds are up for it as much as we are. So, yeah. Good play by Fletcher and Yoro. Joey says you seem like a Kit Kat guy. I don't like Kit Kats actually. I don't know what happened to my TV then, but suddenly Man United were attacking when Leeds had it in the midfield. I want to see a bit of stack for Leeds. I rate him, says Matt. Doing the Super Cup expectation. How am I going to do the Super Cup, Rishab? It's literally kicking off in 15 minutes. ML says, I thought you would announce something yesterday. It's been announced tomorrow morning, mate. We've only been talking about it for the last half an hour. But yeah, 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. But thank you very much. Get ready. Leeds players just put someone on the arse there. Do you think Fletcher could be the third midfielder? No. He could be a good player in the future, but he looks like... Mate, if you look at Fletcher and follow him for the next 20 minutes, tell me what player he absolutely reminds you of. Even runs like him. He's like Scott McTominay in the midfield. And McTominay was never a midfielder. So, no, he can't be the third midfielder this season. Maybe in a year or two, but no, He's not the solution at the moment. Lovely play by Mbermo down the wing. He's got to look at Xerxes. Good goal. Good goal. Very good goal. Lovely play by Mbermo. Lovely finish by Xerxes. And Carrick will be very happy with that. By that. I've spelt it Xerxes. Yeah, it's Dorgu. And Mbermo just skins the Leeds defender. And this is why I want to see Mbermo on the wing. Took it first time, Xerxes, but it's all about Mbermo, this. Down the flank. Lovely bit of skill. Lovely direct run. Lovely pass. I do wonder if we can get Mbermo on the wing. Maybe that's sort of what we can start to see. Do you think Xerxes is staying now? I don't know. If he does stay, he won't play. Amas with the defensive header to start it all off, says Lake on the Moon. Alan Dance, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. I'll come back to your comment in a minute, Ethan, because I think it's a joke. No, I think you are trying to sell a joke. Come back to that in a moment. So United leading 1-0 here after the first 16 minutes. Good counter-attack goal. I haven't actually seen the stats. That's what I wanted to have a quick look at in the first 15 minutes. And lo and behold, the stats aren't in the place they should be. Yeah, we've had... Have we had... Are we in... I don't know whether we're... They've had 62% possession. Yeah, they must have done, yeah. So we are playing a bit counter-attack here, aren't we? Different style of play. The goal definitely came from a counter. And just showing that we can do different things. This should be 2-0. Oh, Delo, you are so fucking slow, mate. I thought Delo was fast. I genuinely thought... I think if Ahmad had took that, he'd have scored. He seemed to be running through porridge. Lovely ball by Mbermo again, and I really thought Delo was going to be through on goal. I think he just, maybe a bit of indecision slowed him down a little bit there. Decaf says, Lakers sold for 12 billion. Man United sale incoming. Very much doubt it. It's very bright and sunny in California, says Big Cap. It's very bright and sunny in the UK. Michael says, so sad management spend this summer. We either do well or bomb. Either Carrick gets sacked or we use this formula again and don't spend. Ethan says, 5 guys walk into a bar. One asked for a Peroni, another ordered an IPA. The third wanted one of each. The fourth guy was too drunk to order. The fifth was Mark. He whispered, I have a big announcement tomorrow. Okay. Apologies, everyone. I thought that was McFred in the midfield, says Thomas. And Marlowe says, I don't like to criticise the youngsters, but ability-wise, Kone and Thwaite should be way ahead of the Fletchers. Yeah, I mean, look, Marlowe, you can criticise all you like. I won't do it because I just massively, you know, think we have to back our youth. You know, you're not the only one who's saying that, if I'm being honest. Alan Dance Music, thank you very much for joining the Members Club. Loving to see United in the lead, says nobody. A workmate is at the game while I slave away at work. I think Fletcher needs to pass the ball forward. Yeah, that's better. And Ahmad with the shot. Oishan says that pass from Santos split the midfield. Joshua says Xerxes too slow, and Hurtado says I'd keep Xerxes. Let's run a poll. Should we keep Xerxes? There you go. Yes or no? That's the best way to do it. Oh, let's have a stretch. You know what Seb said to me today? He says, everyone says Man United are going to win the league. I said, who? He said, everybody's saying it. I said, where? He said, online. I said, who? He said, John and Steve. I said, John and Steve who? I think he was winding me up. I mean, I'd love it if genuine people were saying Man United are going to win the league, but yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. Well, Leeds have had more possession, but they've created nothing. United's counter-attacking game working very well, and I think that's a warning. It is a warning to teams next season that we're still a very good team when it comes to loans. Sorry, when it comes to counter-attacking. Nice ball out to Mbermo. Robert McCormack says Ben Foster said it. He's been on his bike too often. He's gone and got bloody heat stroke, hasn't he? Look, we're not winning the league. And you know what? If we did win the league, I wouldn't even give anyone credit who predicted it. Because there's no logic to it. It's just a guess, isn't it? You know when someone says, when someone wins the lottery, I never say well done. It's just luck. Well, you can still say well done, but there's no skill to it. Anyone who predicts Man United are winning the league is got no logic to doing it at all. If we'd bought 5 really good players, you might do it, but no, we're not winning the league. Now we've seen more of him. Do you think Santos was a good buy? Reese, I'm probably going to be a bit negative here, but I don't judge people new signings on pre-season because they're not competitive games. Mbermo, great save by Trafford. He probably should have slipped Xerxes in there. I think he made the wrong pass. Having a great game, Mbermo. He should have reversed it to Xerxes, but he went for Dorgu. He's having a great game. Brian Mbermo is having a great game so far. He really is. Sean Turner says Foster actually said it if we get a top striker. Well, we're not buying a striker. If we buy a striker, it won't be a top striker. We've got Sesko. I get saying sell Xerxes, but personally I'd keep. Not on crazy wages and isn't entirely useless. Good squad player in my opinion. Can't be starting games regularly. I wouldn't keep him because we need money and. He's not a striker and he's never going to play ahead of Bruno, so I don't really see why you'd keep a player like him. His profile isn't needed. I'd rather get rid of him and bring in a proper striker. So I wouldn't keep Xerxes. He's played well tonight in the number 10, but we're never going to use him as a number 10. I need a striker, and he's not a striker, so I'd get rid of him. Foster said it. If you think I'm going to fall for the trap, this tiki-taka good football, and we're winning it all next season, then you're absolutely correct, says George. Mark, when I look at Carrick on the sideline, I just don't see a leader. I don't see an air of authority, which is needed at United. Well, he's done pretty well, Matt, considering there's no air of authority. I mean... I didn't want Carrick to get the job, and obviously I back him now. But until it's wrong, he's got a very good record, hasn't he? Yeah, going back to the Santos question, I think he's looked very good in pre-season, but they're not competitive games, so I would reserve judgment until we start seeing what we're like in competitive games. But look, the signs are good. Fletcher might get a yellow card here. I don't know whether he did. Maybe not. Pre-season game, maybe let it go. Definitely would have been a yellow card in a competitive game, but I think he might have just been let go because it's a friendly. I like Xerxes playing at a 10. This is his position, and he's never going to play there, Albert, because we've got Bruno. We can't sell Amas, says Jonathan. I think you might end up being disappointed. It Star says, where would you rank our midfield among the top 7? Mate, you're asking an impossible question there. 1, I don't think our midfield's very good because it's not complete. And 2, we haven't played a competitive game yet. So ask me, ask me in October when we know what we've done in the transfer window and we know what we're like in competitive games. Chizzy says, I'd keep Xerxes simply because if we get rid of him, I know he won't be replaced. That's probably a very, 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 very intelligent assessment, actually. Leeds are a bit crap, aren't they? Thanks for all the super chats, by the way. Did you hear Rob Dawson rated our transfer window an 8 out of 10? He's on the payroll. Is that true? I haven't watched all of the video. I watched the first half an hour, and I didn't hear that. I thought that was a joke. You know, you can't. How would you give this window an 8 out of 10? On what basis? 10 out of 10 is like the best transfer window ever. 6 is an okay. 7 is good. 8 is very good. I mean, come on. We've not sold anybody of note. It's not an 8. It's not an 8. Fred says, I don't think Fletcher can be McTominay because he's not scared of the ball. 2 p.m. show was basically Beth versus a Glenios defender, says Ross Stephen. It's sad, though, isn't it, that journalists have to swallow the PR in the hope that the club will appreciate them. That's dictatorship, that is. It's not freedom. Jonathan doesn't want us to sell Amas. Thank you very much. Nearly 20,000 watching. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Please share the video. Another lovely ball through the middle, but Trafford's read that one. Our counter-attacking game has been very strong. Oh, I've shut it. Shut up. Shut up, Goldbridge, you bloody jinxing dickhead. Literally, they go and score. Literally, it's a friendly. Calm down. Yeah, don't really know how that happens because I think we've been the better side by quite a long way. Goal threat. Leeds score with their first chance. Aronson. Don't really know what happens. Fletcher loses the ball. Dan James. Yeah, it all comes from that moment where Dan James gets away, doesn't it? And then Heaven and Yoro are sort of a bit all over the place. Yeah, sloppy goal to concede that. But realistically, it comes from not dealing with the issue in the midfield, doesn't it? Look, I don't hide away. I know I've said it comes from the midfield. Some of you want to be a little bit more blunt and blame the person who loses the ball, Fletcher. But this is something I said at the weekend. There is a huge movement against the Fletchers already, and United just seem oblivious to it, almost stubborn to it. Like, I don't agree with it. People have made their mind up that the Fletchers are shit. I don't agree with that. I think it's a horrible, horrible stance to take with young players who are Man United players. But, you know, horrible things happen in the world. And I just think that this Fletcher experiment is starting to look a little bit unfair because people have made their mind upon him already. And, you know, it's harsh. It is harsh. It's really harsh. I don't even like talking about it, to be fair. Mark Ash says, chat, ask if he'd play left back the way he defends United. Rob Dawson. Mark. You signing up for next year's Arnold Classic UK, Mark, says Hamid. Don't know what that is. Can't believe I fell for the hype of this window, says Maz. And if Amaz was at Newcastle, he'd get game time and be a Lewis Hall. But because we're at United, we sell him for 6 million and spend 70 on replacement, says Henny. Who's going to win the Super Cup, says Sam. This early in the season, it could be Villa, because I doubt the PSG team is going to be very strong. Let me have a look for you. So they've just kicked off. PSG have got Doué, Aglikush and Kvaratskhelia, but they don't have any of their... Oh no, Bakola's on the bench. There's a load. I've missed something. Oh, just a foul. Referee soft as shite, said someone in the chat. I hope you don't regret selling Vitek, says Winston. What do you think about Toby Collier? I think we need to move him on, Darcy, and I think we are going to. I'm not saying he's bad. However, does Fletcher not remind you of McTominay? He reminds me a lot of McTominay, Charlie. And as we know, McTominay wasn't a midfielder. He was a number 10. So... does Fletcher remind me of McTominay because he's a player playing out of position? I don't know. Do you think Lacey could be a regular sub this season? I hope so. I'd like to see him involved. I think he's a... Yeah, I'd rather see Lacey playing at number 10 than Xerxes, as controversial as that is. Do you think the Fletchers would benefit from loans, says Anthony? Yeah, I don't know why we're being force-fed the Fletchers. I don't like it. I think it's unfair on them. I think it's unfair, the amount of negativity they get, but ultimately I think United need to be intelligent in how they deal with it. You're just putting a young player into the firing line at the moment. 20 days to potentially sell and loan players out, as well as trying to bring players in whilst on tour. I'm saying our business is done, says Sean Turner. No, I definitely think we will still do some business. Robert McCormack says Fletcher would do well to win a Serie A Player of the Year. No, but I don't mean like McTominay now. I mean McTominay when he used to play in the midfield. I mean even the way he runs like McTominay as well. He reminds me. You know what? He does remind me a lot of McTominay. Look at the way he's running there. I mean, he did well there. Here we go. Dorgu. Cross into Ahmad. Not good enough. Mark, remember when Dan James started over Ahmad? Says out of pocket. Me. Ricky will be loving this game. He'll want Man United to win, but he'll really want Dan James to have a good game. I told you. Pick a card. I told you. Pick a card. Pick a card. It's not a card, Ricky. It's a glasses wipe. I said pick a fucking card. Dan James, I'm telling you now, if he was Brazilian, he'd be benching Vinny J. I'm telling you, Dan James, best player I've ever seen at Manchester United, and I've seen Robson. Would you keep Xerxes? 57% of you wouldn't, 43% of you would. Matt Casey says, I think we will sign Kone and no one else. We'll have to wait and see. Let me have a check of my messages. Got this message from Lee Andrew. He says, since 21-22, when City spent £100 million on Grealish, no club has won the Premier League without spending 100 million plus on a player. Interesting. But that doesn't surprise me. Amas was nearly in there. Amrit says, I can already imagine your reaction when no business or crap business happens in the coming days. Well, what would your reaction be? You know, it's not just my reaction, isn't it? You know. Thanks for your super chats, by the way. You can do that through the $sign. We'll read those out. Charlie's given us a super chat. He says, I think with Tyler Fletcher, he's good with space in front of him and being able to see the whole pitch. I think in an overcrowded midfield, he struggles. Yeah, but mate, if you give me the ball in the midfield with nobody around me, I'll make a good pass. It's a piece of piss. I don't care what level of it, you know, Champions League or dog and duck in the pub league. You give me the ball in the midfield with 20 metres in front of me and no one near me, I'll find a fucking pass. That's not what football's all about. It's especially in the Premier League, it's the ability to deal intensely, isn't it? If you do Ballers League next season, can my kids stand on the sideline for one game? Would be dad of the year if I could pull that off, says Nathan. Nathan, Mbermo's through. Oh, he's hit the bar. He can't believe it. It deflected off a Leeds player and he's hit the Denver bar. Definitely man of the match performance this half by Brian Mbermo. Brian Mbarmo. Yeah, I think it got a bit of a deflection, but Trafford was definitely beaten. And a bit unlucky it didn't go in. Nathan, I'd love you to be Dad of the Year, but you may well have noticed that Seb was not on the touchline with me because health and safety didn't allow it. So I can't do it for my kids, so I'll definitely not be able to do it for yours. Salt says Xerxes at the 10 looks more lost than a vegan at a Texas barbecue. He did score a goal though, mate, in fairness. Are you going to do Premier League predictions with Robbie this year, Mark? It's not confirmed yet, Mike, but our big news is confirmed tomorrow. Get ready for that. Charlie says, I'm agreeing with you, Mark. He's very limited. No, I know that's what you meant. I actually didn't take it that you were being positive. I took it that you were saying, look, he's only good when he's got loads of space. I agree. Feels like we're assessing a couple of games from pre-season to determine if we should sign players. This club has got no real plans, only cost saving, says Santana. Well, we've got a corner here, but you're right. You know, is Xerxes playing at number 10 because we're deciding in mid-August whether we're going to keep him or not? Is Amas playing at left back because we're deciding in mid-August whether we're going to keep him or not? I think that's what's happening. And the question has to be, why are we making them decisions in mid-August? Good play by Dorgu. Is that a good game, Dorgu? Lots of people give Dorgu shit. I think he's had a good game. Matt says it'd be good to see you sit down with Neville. Mbermo looks the best player on the pitch, 100%. Are you going to watch the PSG Villa game? Mate, I've been asked this twice now, and I don't know whether you're just not very clever or haven't realised. Man United Leeds, I'm literally doing a watch-along for at the same time as Villa are playing PSG. I can't do both. I won't do both. Tynan Thompson is on the bench, yes. And so is JJ. So we could get to see them in the second half. Andy Bell, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. You know what? I have this nightmare that one day I'll stand up and I won't have any trousers on. I mean, I'd never do a stream without any anyway, but sometimes I do look and have a lot and panic. Played Yoro. I've been rewatching your old GTA videos. Mate, they are very good. I don't even know where they are though, because I did it on Twitch, and that doesn't keep your footage. So someone must have just, I don't know. Big Z says, I just tuned in 2 hours ahead. Thought it was later. That explains it. Rather keep Xerxes and use all our funds on midfield and left back, says Diego. Hamed says, for some that would be a dream. Do you think United will change a lot of players in the second half? I'd be surprised if we change the whole team at half-time. Looking at the bench that we've got, it is quite a big bench. But then again, we are playing on Saturday, so that might be the plan. 45 minutes and 45 minutes. Normally that's stopped at this stage of pre-season, but it could happen because there's 3, 6, 9... 13 players on the bench, so he might change a lot of players at half-time. F Soccer says, Roy Keane seems up for doing watch-alongs. Would you be interested in doing some with him? I'd love to. Asaya says, the first game of the season starts at 4:30 AM. Respect, my friend. Respect to all of you that get up at ridiculous hours to support this football club of ours. You know, when I was doing the World Cup, I did appreciate that it was tiring, and at the time it was difficult, but I knew I'd look back on it and go, that was a special time, and it was. We shouldn't be drawing this. I definitely think we've been the better team, although here comes Dan James. Meet. Greedy Dan. Shot over the bar. Ricky was getting excited. Mark, have you ever tried Draft FPL League? After Bruno, in what order would you rank Mbeumo, Cunha and Sesko in terms of goals and assists in the Fantasy Premier League? I think if Mbeumo went to the right wing, it'd be a Fantasy Premier League monster. Cunha, I think, is going to be steady at that, but we don't know how many minutes he's going to get with Rashford, Bruno, Mbeumo, Ahmad, Sesko. And similarly for Sesko, we don't know whether he's going to start either. So I think out of those three, Mbeumo is probably the most likely to start games. Green and gold until it's sold. Respect, Mark, says Kieran. Thank you, pal. And Brown says, I know you're busier, but will you get more gaming videos like GTA streams? Those are brilliant. Mate, I am definitely with Goldbridge. That's coming back in the autumn. And hopefully driving Goldbridge as well. I'm still thinking I might do one final career mode. And I will be doing a Grand Theft Auto playthrough when it comes out as well. So all those things are in the pipeline. It's been a very busy summer, but the summer's been busy predominantly because of the World Cup. And what we're about to announce tomorrow has taken a bit of work from everybody as well. And some other things that are coming soon as well. So once they're announced and they become part of the routine, it will free up some time. English Saturn says, I hate to admit it, but Amas looks decent. Well, why do you hate to admit it? I think he is decent. What's your expectations for the Champions League? I think minimum we've got to get to the last 16. Wayne says that Carrick has recreated the McFred midfield. I like some of the passing. We've not pressed high up the pitch in this game. We've definitely played counter-attack. But I have enjoyed some of the passing. And I don't think we deserve to be 1-1 at half-time, is my assessment. Let me know yours. That is half-time, no added time. It's 1-1 at half-time. Let me stop the clock. Aronson with the goal for them. Xerxes with the goal for us. Leeds have got some decent players to bring on as well. We'll talk about that as and when that happens. But let me just first and foremost go to the stats. So possession has gone up. We were down at about 40% possession at one point, but we've actually got more possession now. 8 shots to 4, 4 shots on target to 1, 4 corners to 0. So look, I think for a large portion of that game we were counter-attacking, but then since Leeds have scored, we've tried to get back in front, and I think we were the better team, to be fair. I mean, Mbeumo, head and shoulders the best player on the pitch. I think Dorgu's played well, Santos has played well, Amas has been decent, Xerxes done okay, got the goal. Ahmad I'd still want more from down that right hand side, same with Delo. Centre-backs have done okay. Le Mans hasn't really been tested. But I thought we were the better side. Obviously, the goal is just a little bit sloppy. We all know where that happens. But slightly different tactics in this game. As I said, we were counter-attacking a lot, which shows that we can still do that. Whereas in other pre-season games, we've seen us pressing high up the pitch, which we didn't do as much in that. But yeah, a good workout for Manchester United, and as I said, I think some of the passing's been good. Some of the quick one-touch triangle passing at times has been very, very good to see, and really we probably should be 2 or 3-0 up. So can't moan in pre-season with that type of a performance. Look, I think if you wanted me to be critical, there's absolutely no way you can be using Fletcher as a midfielder in a competitive Premier League season. And I hope he ends up being a good player for us, but he is definitely not ready to be considered as a starting centre midfielder for Manchester United. You compare Lacey's readiness to be used maybe as a squad player, and you look at Fletcher, he's just not ready. And I would hope that means we're going to sign somebody, because you can't keep forcing the issue there. But other than that, everything else was okay or good. And as I said, Mbeumo looked absolutely on it. And whilst I don't think Mbeumo's a striker, I'd bloody love to see him out on that right wing playing regularly. I really would. And I know that means benching Ahmad, but I don't mind benching Ahmad. I like Ahmad, but I really do like the idea of Mbeumo at Brentford doing that for Manchester United. Isaac says, let's hope for a trashy career ender. That's horrible. Thought Amas looked amazing. Good feet, says MUFC lover. Thank you very much. Really looking forward to seeing Gary in your spare bedroom, Mark, says Francis. Weird. Why not just keep Amas if we're looking to replace Shaw and just sign a young backup? Because he's literally a young backup himself. We need a proper left back, mate. I thought Amas and Dorgu is the future, says ASM7. Thank you very much for that as well. Appreciate that. And so nice to see Mbeumo playing his natural position on the wing, night and day compared to up front. How will we balance Rashford, Dorgu and JJ at left wing, says Sean. And Cunha. Of course, Cunha plays out on that wing as well. Andre Gomez says, my takeaway is that Michael Carrick's idea of football is one we should back, but I don't see it being sustainable with the squad depth we have. Champions League football is going to expose us because I think Carrick wants intensity. Yeah, you know what? It's probably a very good comment, that. I think from what we've seen in pre-season, the speed of moving the ball today, the high pressing in previous weeks, this is going to hurt to do twice a week. And with the squad that we've got, I think they'll really struggle to do it. So it's probably a fair assessment. Has Michael Carrick been backed? No. Is it going to hurt him later in the season? There is a chance that could happen. Certainly. Just a big Mark, I wish Rashford never plays. He shouldn't even start over Lacey, says Moshen. Okay. Do you think Amas will be sold? my fear is he's in the shop window, mate. I mean, look, Amas can't be the starting left back. We do need to buy a starting left back. But I mean, I don't know. I'm sort of conflicted. What are we saying here? Loan Amas and keep him at the club. Keep Amas and use him as the second left back to Luke Shaw. Or sell Amas. I don't want to sell him. But I don't think he should be a backup to Luke Shaw either. I want a starter. And I don't think he's ready to be the starting left back. So I would probably loan him for another season, yeah. I don't think he's ready to start for Manchester United. And I don't want it to be Luke Shaw. JBS with a very weird super chat says, what are the chances we lose 3 games in a row? How the fuck do I know? I don't know. We haven't even played a competitive game this season yet. I don't know. Ow! Larista says, Mark, same problem for 15 years. No real CDM. Even Casemiro didn't fix it. Santas and Tillemans aren't it either. And Taron says, sorry, I meant instead of buying a young backup for sure. Amas has been classed as GGMU. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate that. Don't forget, tomorrow, 9 o'clock, tomorrow morning, our big announcement is going to be released. So, very excited about that. Thank you very much. So, we are live at 10 o'clock anyway, but keep an eye out on all our socials for 9 a.m. and mine. Alex Scott would be perfect, but Glinios a clown, says Mitesh. Yeah, I mean, I think if you stick Alex Scott into this midfield and Lewis Hall at left back, I'd be a lot more confident about the season to come. I think we've got a lot of exciting players in the team, and add a couple more for strength, and we'd be a better team. I think that's the disappointing thing about this transfer window. I've had this conversation with many people. It's not about being spoiled. I want players. It's about finishing third last season and then looking at what we need and saying, if we did just bring in a really good left back and a really good midfielder at this point, we'd have a really good chance next season of kicking on. Whereas I think people look at the squad without a third midfielder and without a left back and go, we might do okay, but I think the problems will come at some point. So it's not just about, I want to sign players. It's about filling problems in the team. Today's Rob Dawson interview was a disgrace, says Amit. You can watch that on the channel. Beth and Rob Dawson. My left leg is absolutely killing, so just going to stretch this out for a moment. Oh. Do you think we'll see a load of changes at half time then? We won't see Rashford. We won't see Mainu. And we won't see Maguire and we won't see Mazraoui because they're not part of the squad. They'll be playing on... Presumably they'll be playing on Saturday. Yeah. Oh, I wish I could show you this, what I'm looking at. You'll see it tomorrow. You'll see it tomorrow. Laresta says, Mark, leave the left back. That's not an issue. We need a decent CDM. How hard is that to find? Oh, mate, I disagree. We need a left back. We demand a left back and a centre midfielder. I'm not going to make their job easy by saying leave the left back. We've signed 2 players. I don't count Darlow as a signing. We've signed 2 players and we need 5. I only saw the short at 3 a.m. Saturday morning, but how many applications did you get for your new presenter and how many have you interviewed? Downey, the deadline was literally last Friday, so we've not interviewed anybody and we're still working through the shortlist is the answer. Tomorrow is my birthday and also results day. Wish me luck, says Jop. Good luck, mates. Hopefully it goes well. Thank you very much for your super chat. And if you want to do your super chats and get your points across, you can do that through the $sign. We'll make sure we read those out. People are messing around with the new emojis that we've got for the members now. We've actually updated them for the first time in ages. Alex says, thanks for your super chat, Alec. He says, different take on Rashford. Don't you think there is partial blame to Rashford for not smashing it at Barca and making it a no-brainer for Barca to buy him? No, I don't think Rashford could do any more at Barcelona than he did. I think he was playing right on his limit. I don't think he could smash it anymore. I think he was playing at the level he can play at now. I don't think Rashford can be the player he was 5 years ago ever again. I think that's impossible. What he can be is a decent player. And I thought he was a decent player for Barcelona. Chris says, I think Fletcher's just a McTominay regen. I'm not convinced. Alex Scott would be perfect, but Glinios are clowns. Thank you very much. Mazraoui is on the bench, Mark. He's not on the bench. You're lying. He's not on the bench. He's not on the bench. Unless the website I'm looking at. He's not there. Tillemans should come in for Fletcher, says Jay. Mom says, what's the likelihood of new signings? And Valley Joe, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. I mean, look, I think we will make new signings. Absolutely. See you later. I'm quitting. Back again. I'll tell you what, we've just had a good super chat here. Could Xerxes be an understudy to Bruno? That's from Mind First, Muscle Later. Muscle First, Mind Later. No, Xerxes can't be an understudy to Bruno because that's Lacey's job. Get rid of Xerxes. You've had your chance, 2 years. Omar Barada said it. If you're not performing in the first year or two, you will be moved out of the football club. And Xerxes had 2 years at Man United. We're hypocrites if we keep remoulding players and saying, ooh, can Mason Mount be a midfielder after 3 years? Can Xerxes be Bruno's understudy after 2 years? We've got Lacey. We need to move on, cash in on Xerxes and buy a striker. That's what ruthlessness is. I'm not a charity and neither is Man United. I don't, if you want to keep him as an understudy to Bruno, absolutely fine, but not for me. Move him on. Fum, welcome to Members Club. Oh no, he's been a member for 37 months. Tomorrow's my birthday. I've done that one. There was a question about Bruno. Beth looked great today, says Tony. Okay. What's the chances this season we can send someone abroad for the games to represent the channel like people used to do? Those were great shows. Chizzy, you do realise we send people abroad like we used to do when Man United are in Europe? It's not that we stopped doing it. Man United stopped qualifying for Europe, mate. The season before last, we sent people abroad like we used to because we're in Europe. The reason we didn't send people abroad last season like we used to is because we weren't in Europe. So, yes, we can do that, Chizzy. Dream scenario, buy Hall, sell Shaw, bench Amas. Oh, I'd love that. But you know what? Here's a good hot take for you. In the quest to sign a left-back, answer me this. Do you think this tight-arsed ownership is seriously thinking about buying a first-choice left-back so they can bench one on nearly 200 grand a week? That's a really good point. Luke Shaw is on nearly 200 grand a week. Do you really think this ownership is the sort of ownership that goes, We don't mind spending a load of money on a new left back and benching one on 200 grand a week. They won't. When you realise what this board is, you realise we're not going to sign a first choice left back because the first choice left back's already here. His name's Luke Shaw. Hoping to see more of Tillemans and JJ, says Andre. I'd love to see JJ come on. Yeah. And Lacey. Funny how Arsenal fans can watch their pre-seasons for free on YouTube, says Wiley. I'd love to see Dedic in United, says Squishy. Is he not going to Newcastle? Valley Joe, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much for that. There was a Bruno question here. Here it is. Mitesh. If Fernandes went for 85 million, then the board should have grasped quickly that this would be the normal asking price for good players this summer. Yeah. A few substitutions being made by Man United here. I feel like these subs are an absolute waste of time. I mean, Collier's already been told he's going, and we're bringing him on for 45 minutes in Dublin. Thompson's... I didn't see Thompson. Thompson coming on is interesting because he's a new signing from Tottenham. But Collier, in pre-season, I just don't really get what that's all about. Thompson at number 27. Keep an eye on him. We brought him in from Tottenham. I mean, he wasn't playing for Tottenham, so Fletcher's just playing with his... I don't know what he was doing there. I think he was tying up his shorts. Robert says it's a fucking friendly, Mark. It's pre-season, mate. It's not a friendly. It's pre-season. But we have got a game on Saturday. You're right. You know, we have got to share out the minutes. We've got to be precautionary. So Cunha, Mbeumo or Sesko could get benched for Rashford, says Jonathan. He's on fire in training, mate. Andreas, thanks for gifting 10 memberships. Ross Nelson, thanks for gifting a membership as well. How's the announcement going to go tomorrow? Somebody just said, look, if you are a member tomorrow, you will get something extra because the announcement is for everybody. But as a member, you will be getting something extra now. I can't say too much. As a non-member, you're still going to do very well out of it. But as a member, you are going to get extra. So, but everything will become clear at 9 o'clock tomorrow. So everybody gets something, but as a member, you get extra, which is the way it should be. So 9 o'clock tomorrow. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm just basically going to get up, have a shower, do my normal 10K run, get down the gym, lift some iron for about an hour, and then get back, have a good breakfast, and then sit myself in front of the laptop for 9 o'clock so I can be all over the socials, replying to all the haters, going, have that, you prick. This, you know, like Father Ted when he won the award. I'm going to be there going after all the twats, going, have that, have that, have that, have that. I might even go and watch some of their videos and leave and just laugh at their miserable faces. No, I'm not like that. I'm definitely not like that. I am like that. I am like that. We've not kicked off the second half yet. I'll go through the subs in a minute. So keep an eye out for the winger, Thompson. He's playing with Amas on that side. And Burmo's gone to... well, no, he hasn't. Because Ahmad's still on. Fletcher's on. Santos is off. So it's 3 substitutions. Thompson has... we brought a centre-back on in Armour. Good name for a centre-back, Armour. Not Arna. I'll tell you what, Gary would love that. He's not called Arna. That's a sponsor. That's a brand that the Overlap uses, or did used to. I don't know whether they still do. But no, he's a centre-back. Daniel Armour, Scottish Youth International. He's become a regular for Travis Binian's under-21 side. I'm definitely not reading this off online. But he's only 18 years old. He was only 18 years old. Have Leeds made any changes? Be calm. Tell you what, last night I started watching an absolute classic. The Jolly Boys outing, Only Fools and Horses. It's basically a feature-length episode of it. Okay. Let me get back in the room. Have Leeds made any changes? Yes. They've brought on Justin, Nonto, Okafor, Wilson, and Calvert-Lewin. So, some decent substitutions for them. They've probably got a slightly stronger bench than us because they've got Harry Wilson on the bench who's still to come on, Roden, Stack and Ampadu as well. So it never normally plays out like this, but I think Leeds probably are a stronger team at the moment now. Have you watched The Odyssey yet? Says Big Z. I went and watched it last Thursday. I really enjoyed it. Mark Ash, welcome to the Members Club. I seriously believe our right-back position is a weakness more than the left. It doesn't seem as though Mazraoui is favoured and Delo is just so poor. I think it's a great point, Glenn. I think I said this at the end of the season. Everyone talks about the midfield quite rightly, but our fullbacks ain't good enough. And the only reason left-back gets spoken about is because we've only got one left-back. It's not that left back's weaker than right back. It's just the fact that we've got two right backs and one left back. So, the Judge, welcome to the Members Club. Tua, welcome to the Members Club. Ollie O'Bean and 23 Muggy, thank you very much. Pete says ITV's commentary is awful. Bring back Brian Moore. I think most commentary is crap these days, though, isn't it? Bep and Scott Deed, welcome to the Members Club as well. Why have clubs ignored Truffert? Maybe it's just not gettable, Mitesh. Nice ball into Nonto. Good play by Le Mans. Kieran, thank you very much. And Rio, welcome to the Members Club. 10k or 10 steps, says James. Callan, welcome to the Members Club. Thompson reminds me of Rafinha. Not even seen him play, have you? That boy Matt, welcome to the Members Club. Andreas, welcome. Thank you very much for gifting memberships. My mates, one of my best mates, probably my best mate, is actually, I didn't realise he's at the game. He's just messaged me. He went to the last game in Dublin. He went to the one in Dublin where they picked the reserves. He's there again. He's just messaged me. Toby Collier, get out. So he's obviously not happy with some of the subs. The thing is, though, I think when you see a player like Collier coming on, and I wish him all the best, we know he's surplus to requirements. So if you're at the ground or you're watching it here, you're sort of like, what am I supposed to do with Toby Collier? Because he's... You know, if he plays well, if he doesn't play well, he's not part of the plans anyway, is he? Alm says, kids on, so excuses if we lose. Michael Coward, Rick. Gino, the Viking, thanks for joining the Members Club. And Gregory as well. And James. Boiling Mark, you in the garden in the morning. Ooh, should I do a morning show from the garden? Reacting to the big news? That sounds like a plan, Andren. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Please do share the video, as always. You're absolute legends. And make sure you subscribe. Big news tomorrow. You'll want to see the notifications. 9 AM. Do you think he's prioritising the Milan game? I don't know so much that he's prioritising it. It's the last game before the start of the season, so I think he probably will go quite strong. And obviously beating Amorim will be a big message. Maybe he was thinking Leeds might be a little bit more of a test physically, so he didn't want to play a load of players. I don't know. Good save, Le Mans. Should have been offside there, mate. Where's your offside flag, you absolute cretin? Viper Vando, thanks for joining the Members Club. Would you have liked Edison was United's third midfield signing, or would you prefer anybody else, says Mark? I I don't think if we'd signed Ederson, we would have signed Santos, is what I got told. So I'd prefer Santos to Ederson. The plan was never Ederson, Santos and Tielemans, let's put it that way. Bad pass by Xerxes. Would I prefer Ederson over nothing? Yes. Would I prefer Ederson over Kone? No. Would I prefer Ederson over Stiller? No. Bergvall? No. No. But I'd take him over nothing. They're exploiting that right-hand side a lot. Our left-hand side a lot. You've got Tynan Thompson, who's a kid, on the left wing. And then you've got Amas on the left at the left back. James says, what will the media say if Amorim wins? Mate, I was with my physio today and we were talking about the season ahead. He's an Everton fan. And he said something that's very true. You only know if your pre-season went well if you win your first couple of games. And it's true. You can have a shit pre-season and win your first 2 games and you've had a good pre-season. That's all that matters. What are the so yeah, James, I mean, look, we could lose to Milan on Saturday and win our first 6 games. It doesn't matter. What style of beer are you enjoying, Mark? I'm on the Madri tonight. It's what we've got left from the garage. I wish I had some Hawkstone. Nonto again. Good tackle, Yoro. Did well there, Yoro. Nice to see Yoro getting more minutes again as well. He's had a good pre-season, Yoro, and hopefully he's going to have a lot of opportunities. Carabao Cup, Champions League. Nonto is getting so much room down the left-hand side. It's ridiculous. And shot straight at Le Mans. Fletcher brothers get way too much hate. I'm not clapping the hate. I'm clapping the comment. Yeah, we shouldn't be doing it to our young players. Look, I don't think either Fletcher's ready, and I don't think they should be being thrust into the limelight. But that doesn't mean they won't be good in the future. And you know, I want them to have good careers in football. Maybe it'll be with us, maybe it'll be with Stockport. But you know, we shouldn't be burning young players. I don't like it. Grant, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you. And Mr. DC. Chizzy with a super chat says, I was meaning when we had behind the scenes stadium changing room access, but realised that was Europa, so probably definitely won't happen in the Champions League. Still excited for whatever we have planned. You're going to be very excited tomorrow morning, mate. You're going to be so excited. You're going to go, I'm not going to work. I want to watch this instead. You're going to be absolutely buzzing your tits off tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Lovely feet by Xerxes. Oh, just ahead of Ahmad. Nathan says, 3 players to sign of your choice. Well, we can all play that. If I could sign 3 players now that are realistic. Lewis Hall. Alex Scott. I tell you what. Probably Ollie Watkins. Yeah, I'd be well happy with Watkins, Hall and Scott. All homegrown as well. Fucking hell. I'm a genius. I don't think Wharton's realistic. That's why I'd take Scott over over Wharton. And I do like Kone, and I do like Bergvall, and I do like Stiller. But I don't. I think Scott would be the best of lot. I'm just going to make a statement here. Thompson's giving me Barcola vibes. I know it's one bit of skill and he got tackled, but I truly believe Tynan Thompson might be the next Barcola. And I know he got tackled, but I'm just going to make an early prediction. We've got the new Barcola there, and we've got him for 3 million from Spurs. Bruno's about to come on. What about Ivan Toney, says Mitesh. Yeah, but we'll never sign. It's not realistic to sign Ivan Toney because his wages are ridiculous and he's also got a court case, so we won't go anywhere near him. The chat's full of laughing emojis. I'm telling you now, you're going to come back in a couple of years' time and go, remember Goldbridge said Tynan Thompson will be the next Barcola? He was right. And it's not because of the hair. It's because he is going to be. And I purposely said it when he's done nothing. So you can all go, you know what, he does know football. Oh, bloody hell. You'd be off. You'd be sent off for that in real life, Delo. Nathan's right. If that had been the Premier League, he'd have been sent off there. Who do you think will be United's starting midfield? I mean, I think this is a great question. Shot straight at Le Mans. I think it'll be... Oh, God, you know what? I can't answer this question. I thought it was going to be Mainu and Santos. But then I was thinking, how long can you bench Tielemans? Like, I'm not saying he's Casemiro, but he does need to play. You can't bench Mainu, and Santos has done very well and is the only one who can play. I mean, he could go Tielemans and Mainu against Hull and Ipswich because they're not very good. Why are you shooting from there? I've been disappointed with Ahmad. I'm a big fan of Ahmad. Disappointed with him again. Sorry. I'm going to say what it is. He's had an hour and he hasn't done that much. Pre-season Pirlo Barcola, says Lee Berman. Ahmad's got to have a big season. Yeah, so good question there from Fernan. Who is going to be our starting midfield? It's a good question. Have you had Carling Black Label? Well, is it not just Carling, Spires? Mr. Hickey says that's not realistic with this ownership. Thank you very much. Ham, thanks for your super chat. Good comment. Says, what's worrying me watching this going into the season is our lack of pace and athleticism. Already see Leeds playing a lot of balls in behind easily, says Ham. But we've got a lot of energy to come back. Mainu, Cunha, Sesko, Rashford. Mark, congratulations in advance. I'm excited for the news tomorrow morning. Have a great evening. Bruno's about to come on. All I'm going to say about the news tomorrow is, because I'm absolutely terrible, and Mazraoui was on the bench. It wasn't on the list I had. So Mazraoui comes on for Delo. Bruno takes the captain's armband. Mbuemo's coming off. Luke Shaw's coming on. Ahmad's coming off. Cunha's coming on. Fletcher's coming off. Yeah, Ahmad, Fletcher, Mbuemo, Xerxes off. Here he is, Luke Shaw. Dun, dun, dun. Popeye's on. I think Amas must be off as well. We'll win this now. Bruno's on. In relation to, yeah, I'm not very good at like self-reflection and congratulating myself, as people will know when we hit 1 million and 2 million subs and all that. Tomorrow is a big day for the United stand, and I'll give you the full SP story at 10 a.m, the background, what happened, who's responsible, etc. But the win is the win. The win is the announcement. It's a huge announcement. It will definitely get tongues wagging. And as we know, it's like when we got the Bundesliga on That's Football. It was a huge thing to do. And while some people were very interested, some people got very jealous and bitter. But remember tomorrow, when it gets announced, if you're a fan of the United stand, you share in the success of that. Because it doesn't happen without you. Some people, when they get success, they put it down to themselves and go, oh, it's because of me. It's because of my talent. I don't do that. We don't do that. I'm fully aware that none of this happens without all of you. And remember, when we did the overlap deal, a lot of you went, sell out, things are going to change. That was 3 months ago. Nothing's changed. I mean, nothing's changed so much that people are trying to block me on Twitter. So people said, oh, you've sold out, you're going to become a Glazer boy, all this, that and the other. People want to block me because I'm negative about the club. So nothing has changed. Things are going to change tomorrow for the better. It's going to be a huge change. And you're going to smile about it. And when you do smile about it, just remember these words. It's because of you. Wherever you are in the world, whoever you are, it's because of your loyalty and your part in this amazing community that what happens tomorrow is going to happen. It is because of you. And I want to say that before it happens because I sincerely mean it. It can't happen without you. So share in the happiness tomorrow. But no, it's really because of me. No, I'm joking. If you had to sign one from Wharton, Scott, Camavinga, Stiller, Kone, who would you go for? Scott. Also, a best of class decision would be signing a utility player like Gibbs White, says Mitesh. I mean, I like NJ at Everton, but we don't need a winger now because we're keeping Rashford, so I wouldn't go anywhere near him. It's not a Betway sponsorship deal. Mate, imagine if at 9 o'clock tomorrow you woke up and we've got a betting sponsor. You'd go mad. Not because there's a problem with having one, but like, how does that benefit you? Oh, I'm so pleased for Goldbridge and the massive sponsorship deal he's just announced. Soji, thank you very much. Welcome to the Members Club. Please, Cal says he'll be playing at Madrid next, right? Who? Ahmad? I did say that about Garnacho. Welcome to the United Stand, Ali. First time tuning in this summer. Any worry that Le Mans World Cup will carry over into the club season, says Manjul. Look, Man United have got a very good record. Oh, there's another Fletcher on. We've replaced the Fletcher with a Fletcher. Sorry. One Fletcher's come off, another Fletcher's come on. Here's Mazraoui. Cunha laid it off. It's gone there. Sorry. Fletcher's on for Ahmad. Bruno's on for Mbermo. Cunha's on for Xerxes. Thompson came on for Dorgu. Tillemans is on for Fletcher. Luke Shaw's on for Amas. Me is on for Le Mans. The only player that's still on the pitch is Yoro. And Leeds have made a load of changes as well. With Harry Wilson's on now. Ampadu is on now. Rodon's on now. So loads and loads of subs. Freddie and Rido, welcome to the Members Club. True Gent says you're aging backwards. You know what? I did a show. I went to an awards show at. Actually, this is quite a funny. Shall I tell it in a watch along? I suppose it's a pre-season game. There was so I think they still do it. It was the very early days of the United Stand, and it was the Football Content Awards, and it was voted for by the fans, and you basically had to tweet to vote who you were voting for, and it had some algorithm. And I knew we'd won the award because I'd ran the parameters in, and there was just loads and loads of people saying I vote for the United Stand. Anyway, the award gets announced and it goes to the Red Men. I'd had a few beers. I'm walking down the stairs and the guys from the Red Men are there. And they went, oh, you know, commiserations. And I went, it's a fix. Got into a big argument because I had a drink. Anyway, I'm walking down to the toilets and what's his name? Sam Peoples from UPTV comes out the toilets. Quite small in real life. And he'd been slagging us off. And I went, how you doing, Sam? Are you all right? And he went, oh, hi, Mark. How are you? And then I walked upstairs, and I always do that to people who slag you off, because it's like, are you going to do it in real life? I mean, if they want to do it in real life and start a fight, probably going to win, aren't they? But, you know. And then I went upstairs, and Stan Collymore was there, and I took the piss out of him before, but he's fucking massive in real life. So I went, hi, Stan, how you doing? Thankfully, he'd never looked at any of my tweets, because he was absolutely fine. He went, I'm all right. And then we got talking, and he said, how old are you? And at that time, I must have been about 39, something like that. He went, 39? You must be like a real-life Benjamin Button. And that just got me thinking there about aging backwards, because Stan Collymore called me Benjamin Button. EPL streaming rights. Are you buying the club? I'd love to buy the club. I'd love to find a billionaire to buy the club. I would love to do that. You're right, in South Africa we inherited the brand. Not sure if this is a difference, but it's a South African staple. Give it a try, says Spires. Vina, welcome to the Members Club. Hold on a minute, here's Cunha into Bruno. Ooh. Papa, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you. Chris says, is anyone more excited for the announcement tomorrow than the match? Hold on a minute, Leeds are running down the wing. Okafor, terrible cross. Quality in the final third's been lacking from both teams second half. I'll tell you what, Nonto has played very well for Leeds. If Mbeumo was man of the first half, I definitely think Nonto is man of the second half. Chris says, anyone more excited for tomorrow's announcements? Mate, I mean, you know what? I'm very excited. I'm trying not to think about it now because, yeah, I am very excited. I just, sometimes you think, ooh, what are they going to think about this? Some people might like it, some people might not. I just don't know how you can't like this. You know what? I might miss the boat completely, but I don't know how you can't absolutely fucking love this. Ooh, that was a chance for Leeds. I don't know why I'm going like that. Calvert-Lewin nearly got on the end of it. Kevin, thank you. Luke says, cracked it. Jack is an English left-footed cam like Phil. Jack Phil. Tyler's like his dad. Scottish. 2 syllables. Tyler Darren, says Luke. John T, thank you very much for you joining the Members Club. Is it free Manscapers for all subscribers, says Big Z. Is it the release of the lawnmower versions? Mate, if I did anything like that as the big announcement, I don't think I'd bother doing the United stand anymore. It would be the biggest fucking disappointment ever, wouldn't it? You can buy central air conditioning now, Mark, says GB Garrett. You can't get air conditioning in the UK at the moment because it's like rocking horse shit. He's onside. It's all right, Yoro's there. Freddie, welcome to the Members Club. What are we thinking? This does not look good, says Stig. What doesn't look good? Oh, look, Fletcher can kick the ball from one side of the pitch to the other. Here he is, the new Barcola, Thompson. I thought he was going to shut you all up then. He cut inside, and I thought if he puts that in the top corner, you're all going to say Goldbridge was right, Thompson's the new Barcola. Instead, he's more like the new Ahmad with that sort of selfishness. Eric Fishman, welcome to the Members Club. Thoughts on getting cancelled on X yesterday, says Ferris. Mate, honestly, I just don't care. I just don't. I think they're all bots anyway, but I don't care. Sod it, I'm just going to make the announcement. Rob Dawson is going to be a permanent fixture on the channel. He's doing the morning show, the 8 o'clock show, and the 2 o'clock show. And I've said you can say whatever you like. That's the big news. Pax says, I'm live from the game in Dublin. What are your thoughts? Is it free Krispy Kreme donuts, says James? Someone had moaned about that. K. Dirk says, are you going to finally tell us which chocolate? I think a lot of you do think about that. And that worries me a lot. Eric, welcome to the Members Club. Bring back Guess the Players' Intros, Mark. What was that? Ben Jacobs is on at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Yeah, that's not the big news, though. Ben Jacobs is going to be there going, what amazing news. That's the signing of the summer. This news is so big, Fabrizio Romano is going to want to do a here we go. David Ornstein's going to want to do a bomber. Cunha. Good cross, but, well, it wasn't a good cross. Jaron says, congratulations, thanks for your company these years. It's now a habit to see you twice a day. Hope we won't hear less from you. One day you will, Jaron. I can't. Nothing ever lasts forever. Are you doing Baller League? That's not the announcement. That's something else. Tillemans. Interesting thing about Tillemans is where he's playing. Both times he's come on, he's played right side midfield. Now, Mainu plays left. Did you hear what Paul Scholes said about Tillemans as well? He said he's the sort of player that can play a 10 out of 10 and a 2 out of 10. He's a bit inconsistent. I'm not one of those people that think Man United players, ex-players who have an opinion are negative. I like the Nicky Butt and Paul Scholes conversations. I like listening to Roy Keane. But I do not agree about Tillemans, and I'll tell you why. Because I live just outside Birmingham in quite a nice area. It's got nothing to. That's irrelevant. Why are you Why are you telling them that? It's got nothing to do with what you're about to say. I live just outside Birmingham, and I know a lot of Villa fans, and they love Tillemans. They love Tillemans, and they were gutted that we got hold of him. And when you talk to those Villa fans, you'll hear, I saw someone on Twitter today saying every Villa fan I spoke to, and I'm like, you don't fucking talk to Villa fans. You live in London. I actually live where loads of Villa fans live, and some of my mates are Villa fans. So I talk to Villa fans, and they love Tillemans. So I don't think Tillemans is an inconsistent player. I don't think he's a player that has 3 2 out of 10s and 2 10 out of 10s. At Villa, the Villa fans I know are like, he's our best player. He's our talisman. He's our player that, turns up every week. So I don't think he's inconsistent. The question is whether he can step up and do it at a big club, because I do class Man United, stupidly, as a big club. So could Tillemans go to Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, play every week and be a big player? That's what we've got to find out. Where in Birmingham, says Big Z? Solihull or Four Oaks? Solihull. Four Oaks is the Sutton Coldfield, isn't it? Which is probably a nice area, but I prefer where I am. Fletcher made Collier look like Pirlo in comparison, says A to win. Goldbridge, new host to take over one of the shows. That's not news. Matt, welcome to the Members Club. I tell you what, though, we've had a lot of very, very, very talented people apply to get involved with the United Stand. We do it every couple of years. It's how we found Beth Levin. Remember Levin? Big lad. Big talent. When I say big, I mean tall. I actually saw him down at Baller League a few months ago. He's doing Twitch stuff now. He likes American things now. So yeah, very excited about lots of things to be excited about, but we should get some good talent on as well. Do you like Gale's Bakery in Solihull? I feel like I should know that, Big Z, but I don't. I like the Mason's Arms. What do you think of the 4-2-4 formation, says K Dirk? What, the 4-2-4 formation that we're not playing today? We're not playing a 4-2-4, mate. It's not been like that. Good cross by Cunha. I feel like we'll get another goal here. I mean, it is quite open. If he plays that pass, lovely ball into Calvert-Lewin. Up against an inexperienced Armour. Too greedy. George says, this is probably not the announcement, but I would love if you would go on the Stick to Football as a guest at some point this season. I would love to go on that. I've said, get me on the fan debate, get me on Stick to Football, but at the moment, Gary's not answering my calls. But it would be good. Carrick doesn't give me the confidence that he is ruthless and will bring us back to the top. Spurs have a better manager and a better midfield now, says Edgar. Ooh, good save, Le Mans again. Were you ever higher in the US? Love from New Hampshire, says Rod. Mate, I love the US. I'm one of the few who seem to like America. Jimmy says, it's your birthday. What kind of cake are you getting? I don't know. I do like cake, but I don't really think it's an area that I've invested in. Why am I saying Le Mans is making these saves? We've changed the goalkeeper ages ago. It's me in goal. And I don't mean me. It's me. It's not Le Mans. Sorry, everybody. I'm giving Le Mans credits and he sat on the bench. Le Mans came off about 20 minutes ago. Here's Fletcher. He's played really well, Nonto. I mean, I know he's not a Man United player, but I think Mbermo, man of the first half. Nonto, man of the second half. When's JJ going to come on? I mean, he is on the bench. Only Michael M. Welcome to the Members Club. Are you going to do a match reaction? I mean, I'm not going to go live for it. I will do a quick reaction, yeah. Liam, thank you very much. Welcome to the Members Club. I mean, Nonto's an interesting player because I remember him like coming through in Italy, and when Leeds got hold of him, I thought it was an interesting signing. But I mean, he's not always a starter, is he? Still only 22. Feels like he's been around for a long time. Goal! Bruno scored. He's offside. He can't believe it. I mean, I don't think the keeper should have let it in anyway, but we'll have another look. We'll have another look. Would have been an assist for Luke Shaw. He's gutted. Yeah, keeper's got his angles all right. I don't even know if that's offside. Yeah, keeper's absolutely shit there. He's got no idea where the goal is he? To be honest, the Fletcher boys need to go on loan, says Henry. Have a sausage roll from Gales on me. Also get a coffee and some pastries. They're good, especially the maple and pecan scones. I feel like Gales Bakery is getting an absolute shout out here. Where is it? I know where it is now. I'm just looking on Google Maps where it is, and behind the Mason's Arms, there's this big, massive area of grass. And I've never knew it was there. They need to build on that. I mean, I'm not for knocking down trees and getting rid of greenery, but there's this massive area of grass in the middle of Solihull, and it's not got a goal on it. Build something there. Near post glitch for that Leeds. Yeah, it was. Bruno! No. David Broadhurst, thanks for being a member 6 months. Rebuild the Goldbridge Arms. I should bloody open the Goldbridge Arms. Although we'd probably just get haters turning up and putting the windows in overnight, wouldn't we, and stuff like that. You're too negative about the Glazers. You bard. Get out of my pub. Why are you always moaning about the Glazers? They're good people. You're so negative. Yeah, the Fletchers just remind me of two Scott McTominays, basically. Oh, cut back. Oh, here we go. Nonto. Don't give it back to Nonto. Oh, watch out for Nonto. The Leeds players are really greedy, aren't they? Harry Wilson wanted the glamour. They want to... This is the good thing about being Man United sometimes. Players get really selfish because they want to score against Man United. Why is he shooting from there? Mark, why can't we buy Stiller and drop him off at Old Trafford for the Glazers? Why can't I buy Stiller? Because I haven't got 40 million. And I wouldn't give it to the Glazers for free. They can kiss my arse. Christian says that Thompson needs to go on loan to the 4th tier. Mate, he's literally had his first 40 minutes in a Man United shirt. He's going to be the next Barcola. Harry Wilson having another shot. Luke Shaw's all over the fucking place here. I say what, since Nonto's come on, he's absolutely destroyed our left-hand side. I mean, what's Luke Shaw doing tucking in like a left fucking centre-back again? Mark the fucking winger, you prat. Mark's big announcement is vanilla is also his favourite Huel. You know what? I can't speak for anyone else, but I actually do like Huel. If I'm ever going anywhere, like Manchester, and I've got to get up early, it saves time to have a quick shower, put your clothes on, get in the car and have a Huel for your breakfast. I actually do like Huel. And we're not sponsored by them, but I actually do like it. Does it go to penalties? I don't know. I hope not, because I really don't give a shit. Villa and PSG are 1-1, by the way. Kvaratskhelia made it 1-0, and then Maggio made it 1-1. Actually, I'm just having a quick look at the Villa team. Are they a threat for us? God. Here's Cunha. He's a threat. Tackled. Azraoui. Tielemans. Bruno. Hits the bar. World class. One of the best players in the world. João Gomez, Kamara, Bendia, Matson, Torres, Lindelof, Cash, McGinn, Hemmings, Maggio. I don't think Villa look particularly good next season. I'm only saying, but Maggio, Aston Villa. Somebody told me they've got a striker who's like 6 foot something and he's amazing. It's this guy. It's him. He's 6'4". Villa fans reckon he's going to be the next Erling Haaland. His name is Brian Maggio. He's 17. English. I was speaking to a Villa fan last week and they said that Brian Maggio is going to be the next Erling Haaland. And I did do a breath test, and he didn't smell like he'd been drinking, so... He's born in Enfield, and he's 17, and he's 6'4". Yeah, Garnacho's not playing for them. He's not even on their bench. Apparently, this does go to penalties. Romero's gone to Atletico Madrid. I mean, never has there been a player that suits Atletico Madrid more than Romero. Absolutely spot on. Oh, God. Why are you saying Luxembourg macho? He's played for England under 17s and he's born in Enfield. Do your fucking homework before you start coming in here giving it that. The reason they'll do a penalty shootout is to make the fans happy. I mean, it means absolutely nothing. I'll tell you what, Harry Wilson could be an interesting signing for Leeds. Very good. Very good season for Fulham. I think they got him on a free. Leeds won't get relegated now. I think that first season staying in the Premier League and then you add some quality and you become a Premier League established side. Oh, it's for the Boyle Sports Cup, says Lee Berman. Yep. Yep. Apparently it's a cup final, you see. Here's Mazraoui. Lovely play. He thinks he's bloody Messi. Fletcher with the shot. Nonto with the header. And again. Blink twice if the announcement is Champions League rights. This game just needs to go to penalties now. Can you give us any hints about the announcement? No, contractually I can't. What I would say is, if you're a member, you're going to be very happy at 9 o'clock tomorrow. And if you're not a member, you will still be very happy. But you'll be slightly happier if you're a member, because you're going to get a little gift as well. Oh, here we go. Couple of idiots running on the pitch. Why do it in 2026? They're clapping it as well. I just don't know why you do it. Sib, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you. They weren't streakers, you pervert. They were a couple of kids. Greg, our producer's at the ground. He says 5 kids just ran on the pitch. The first 2 weren't even chased. They got pictures with Bruno and Cunha. Daniel Farks just walked down the tunnel, apparently. I tell you what, it's all fun and games, people running on the pitch and getting pictures with players until someone gets punched like Jack Grealish, isn't it? They shouldn't be fucking running on the pitch. Game is over. Ref's just blown the whistle. Presumably we'll get a penalty shootout now. Indy, Waz and D. Finley, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you. Carrick's having a good old chat with the Fletchers. Do you have a good time? Do you enjoy it? Tell your dad I gave you minutes. I'm joking. I'm joking. God, I'm joking. God, you've got to be very careful these days. People clip things up and say you're being negative. So apparently we're having penalties now. Yep, I think we are having a penalty shootout. Yeah, because it's the Boyle Sports Cup, I'm being told. And it's like the World Cup final. Let's just get on with it. Yeah, so just while we're waiting for these epically important penalties in the Boyle Sports Cup between Leeds and Manchester United, let me just tell you that tomorrow morning at 9 a.m, get very excited. Man United may be conducting an absolutely pathetic transfer window, but we're about to drop a huge signing of the summer. Get ready. We do better business than Manchester United. It starts at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Get ready for it. It'll be across all our socials. If you're a member, you'll get something at 9 o'clock. If you're not, I'll be live at 10 o'clock anyway, but you'll see all the announcements as well. So thank you very much for all that. The two Fletchers have to go on loan, says TVZ. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I don't like the criticism that the Fletchers get. I don't like the criticism that Tahith Chong got. I don't like I don't like our youth players being criticised, because for me it's a huge part of who we are as a football club. But looking across pre-season at the two Fletchers and Thwaites, I don't get it. And that's not me being anti-Fletcher or anti-Carrick. I just think Thwaites looks better than those two and probably should have had a few more minutes. I don't think either of the Fletchers look like... If we're playing a game in Europe or in the Premier League and I see one of them come on, I'd be worried. Same as Thompson, I'd be worried. I don't think they're anywhere near ready what we need at the moment. So we still need to buy a third midfielder. And I still think we need to sign a left back. But yeah. Tommy, Martin, Christian, Aqua, James and Elliot and Hugo and Blanco and Eskil and Mizan and Hercules and Petter and Tal and Lover. Thank you very much for joining the members club. Looking good for a group stage exit in 6th, says Junkyard James. Stop being so bloody negative, Junkyard James. We're winning the league and we're winning the Champions League. Max, Carolyn, Chef, thank you very much. Welcome to the members club. And James Wood as well. There is genuinely a penalty shootout. I think people thought I was joking. I am actually going to do a match reaction. Little bit of a spoiler alert. How much do you put on pre-season? Because if Santos has been very impressive in pre-season, what's Ahmad been in pre-season, and does it matter? You know, if I said to you, I'm a huge fan of Ahmad, but again, I think he's not really done much. And then people say to me, it's only pre-season. I would then say to them, but apparently Santos is an amazing signing and it's only pre-season. So the thing is, does pre-season even matter? Maybe the season starts, Ahmad's the reincarnation of Salah and Santos is a bag of shit. It's all about whether pre-season even matters, isn't it? And I don't know that it does. Kyle and Octo, welcome to the members club. Goldbridge Bomber tomorrow, says Dylan. H Gunner says, congratulations in advance. Will there be a video at 9 or a YouTube post? Don't really do other socials. We will make sure that every social has a post at 9 o'clock. And if you're a member of the channel, you'll definitely get something at 9 o'clock and at 10 o'clock if you're not. Let's get on with the penalty shootout. It doesn't matter. It's a bit of fun. It's just a little bit of fun. You do get a trophy. Delo to send his penalty into the solar eclipse, says Daniel. I mean, that was an anticlimax. I actually thought the solar eclipse would make it go dark. And somebody said, you know what? Right, can I just say this, right? Probably going to be called negative. When people were getting excited about the solar eclipse, saying there won't be one again until 2082, I'm glad I'll be dead. Because it was shit. It was absolute shit. I thought it was going to go dark for like a minute in the middle of the day. It just, nothing really happened. It went slightly less lighter than it normally is. I thought it was shit. Apparently it's good if you look at it. But I don't, so what? I want to see it go dark. Rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. Anyway, Luke Shaw's about to take a penalty. Calvert-Lewin took one. He's at the front of King Shaw, isn't he? Popeye. Here he is. Popeye is here. Come to Sabres. Look, Luke Shaw's taking penalties now. Look, I can take penalties as well. Give me another contract. Good penalty. Don't know why people are being negative. Nonchalant. Give him a new contract. See? Strings to Shaw's bow. Can take penalties as well. I'm taking the piss. Ricky will give him man of the match now. Player of the year. I don't really get this. You've got Ben Mee in goal. No, it's not Ben Mee. He plays for someone else, doesn't he? We've got a reserve goalkeeper who'll never play for Man United in a first team game, and he saved it. In a pre-season penalty shootout. Don't really know what I'm getting out of this. Look, you know, it's a good bit of fun, isn't it? But I don't know what we're getting out of this. Let's get on with 9 o'clock. It's much better than this crap. It's a good save by the keeper. Cunha. Well, at least this is someone who's genuine. Yeah. Took it well. Yes, that's a Glazer. That's not a fucking Irishman. That's a fucking Glazer. There was a bloody Glazer there. It's your fault we've got no bloody signings, you debt magnet. It's still silverware, Mark. It is silverware. It's the Ball Sports Cup. I was going to say something, and the Glazer in the crowd ruined it. What was I going to say? Completely gone. Ooh, keeper nearly saved that one as well. Yeah, I mean, these penalty shootouts, that's what I was going to say. In all seriousness, these penalty shootouts are an absolute waste of time, aren't they? Because there's just no... People say, well, it's good practice. The thing about a penalty shootout is you can't replicate to practice. It's the pressure, isn't it, of a penalty shootout that makes it what it is. You know, a pre-season friendly shootout, a good penalty by Fletcher. A pre-season penalty shootout with no pressure is not really replicating Grimsby. I just can't wait for the season to start now. There's Delit. Do you think your announcement will upset a few people? Yeah, that's the most satisfying thing. Fraud Father says he just called my dad a Glazer. Yeah, he's not really a Glazer, he just looks like one. Vil, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Give him the Ballon d'Or, says Carlo. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Members Club. Shorberto Carlos says James. Sorry for ruining it, but I'm mates with Ornstein. Great addition to Thursday afternoons, says Matthew. Scott Hargreaves has been a member for 70 months. Nonto just scored his penalty as well. She's falling asleep. Good penalty, that. Goalie deserves a chance at the first team, says Lake. I think put him at left back. 9 a.m. UK time, Steve Little. Here comes Bruno. Would this win it? No. I would bet, even though it doesn't mean anything, I would bet any money that Bruno will score this. See? Oh, he's missed! Shit! I wouldn't really. I had my fingers crossed. I had my fingers crossed. He's missed the whole goal. He's not bothered. He's laughing. Just missed the whole fucking goal, Bruno. She was celebrating as well. Can't believe it. They're all having a laugh. They're not bothered. They're literally smiling about him missing. Mark's in generational debt. Thankfully, nobody took the bet. So... could be the penalty shootout that goes on forever. I just want to do a match reaction and go to bed and get up early for the big announcement tomorrow. Good penalty. If Man United sign a player tomorrow, could it beat your announcement? No. No. Man United can't sign a player tomorrow to beat this. They can't. I'm very confident about that. But I did just say Bruno wouldn't miss the penalty, so you can call out the bullshit. But no. There's not a player left in the market that can beat this announcement. Mazraoui needs to score to take it into sudden death. No, it's not Mazraoui. It's Tielemans. He won't miss. Good penalty. Sotma, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. He's... fucking hell. I'm not criticising a kid, but he's actually very emotional about the Boyle Sports penalty shootout. Mark Ornstein Bomber says history. Tell you what, the crowd are going mild here. They're really getting excited about it. Oh, he's hit the bar. Right, let's win it now. Justin's hit the bar. He's gutted. He wanted to beat Man United. Life of a Leeds fan. Get used to it. I don't even count Leeds as a rival, but they absolutely hate us. Bring back pink boots, Phil Jones, says John. Who's going to score the winning penalty? Just, they better bloody... I tell you what, they better score it. Mazraoui! I predicted that. I thought it was Mazraoui on the last one. He's having a good summer. He steps up and he scores. Boyle Sports champions 2026. Manchester United. There we go. Carrick's got his top off. He's crying with his top off. No, he's not. He's just being very humble in victory. But inside, he's like, this is the huge moment of my managerial career. First silverware for Michael Carrick as Man United manager. Boyle Sports Trophy in Dublin in front of 80,000 fans. It's a big moment. And he won't forget it. Right, anyway, big announcement tomorrow. Bigger than Boyle Sports Trophy. Let's get ready. Let's be honest. I'm live with you at 10 o'clock reacting to that big announcement. You can see it at 9 o'clock, especially if you're a member. But it will be all over the socials as well. I'm going to go and do a quick match reaction. But thanks for tuning in. We've nearly done pre-season, and I'm fucking ready to be done in pre-season, to be honest. I want to just get on with the season. But thanks everyone for tuning in. I'll do a quick match reaction. I'll get that uploaded, and then tomorrow morning, let's get ready. Speak to you all in a bit. Take care.